You already know what it is. It's Big Pressure TV. We got another classic interview. You know, they say pressure can bust pipes and pressure can make a diamond. The man we're looking at right now is a diamond amongst the guys. He's a diamond amongst the men. A rapper, author, entrepreneur, street organization mediator, mentor, leader. The list goes on. Now, somebody once said how a man perceives himself is determined by what he's willing to prove. So before we get into all the power moves that the guy got going on and everything that you've been putting down, who was Phil sample before the success and before the transition?
Ooh, before the success and transition. So, coming from a study or a line of the higher thought that say man began as a congealed clock of a substance.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And we know what that substance is, right?
Yes, sir.
Nothing. Looking at it symbolically, that right there, bro, just a clump of nothing, man. But with the nothing is everything, right? They say the seed has the propensities inside of it to be everything that it's gonna be. So that big old tree is in the little bitty seed.
Man, talk.
Though nothing, everything, but just humble beginnings, man. Like most of us, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And that's the best beginning. That's that root. That's that firm root. You know what I mean? So, he was a high yellow black man lost in a white man's world. You know what I'm talking about? Looking for his way. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, listen, you from Detroit by way of Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, these two rich cities that are rich in, far from a spiritual aspect, as well as from a street aspect, right?
Yeah.
And it takes before we tap into that part, but Detroit is known for, or was known for the drug organization aspect, and Chicago was known for the street organization aspect. But it takes a different type of mentality to survive both of those cities, right?
Oh, yeah.
How did Phil sample survive Chicago and Detroit, being a product of both of those environments, harsh environments?
So, as to the Chicago environment, I'll speak to that a little first. And I'm a realist, bro.
Yes, sir.
I was not built. Well, I ain't gonna say I wasn't built. I'm gonna say I wasn't ready for the level of shit that Chicago was on.
Drill City.
Was
the Drill City back then?
No, but not that, and I always get what's worse. And I don't like to make comparisons because, like you said, twisted fingers that get your head knocked off there when the missing numbers is out the bag or the bag like here. But so it ain't really one was more dangerous than the next, but it was just like electric. I grew up running around there, in the 80s, man. It
was serious in the 80s.
Oh man, so so the main thing, I was humble. And I did things that people couldn't do, man. I could go to any hood. I got blood family of all persuasions, Blackstone, Vice Lords, so I could go anywhere and be taken care of. Had a girlfriend everywhere. Would be all over here in the Wild 100s, all the way down to the projects, rapping in ciphers and just, was just a fly little guy, man, but I always represented.
You fly now, Black. You fly back then.
Yeah, so, I always repped my thing, but didn't disrespect nobody else's, So, just being humble, being quiet, and being real, man, you know what I mean? And I think that's Chicago, Detroit, penitentiary, anywhere you go. Like, I've traveled from Cali to New York, and everywhere I go, I look for the hood.
Ain't no doubt.
People like, you don't want to go over there, that's where my people are. Of course I do, So the same things, the same characteristics, I just take them everywhere. Be humble, be real. I ain't looking for no smoke.
Ain't no doubt.
I just want to have a drink with you, blow something, and learn about your culture.
Right. And get embraced at the same time.
That's
real
right.
Respect, real.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's what's up with it, guys. So you managed to survive those environments, first having a spirit of humility, being observant, also being aware of your environment, because you have to be aware in those type of environments, you know what I mean? Because it's hard to survive that type of shit without really knowing what's going on. You know what I mean? So you cut from that fabric where, your spider senses.
Oh man, supreme.
Yeah, on the
It
supreme
saved me
level.
1,000 times. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And I listened to them.
Right.
You know, I've seen many of people in a fucked up situation talking about something told me. Something did tell you. That higher voice, that God in you told you, but you didn't listen.
Oh,
so
sorry.
I listened. I don't second guess those instincts. You know what I'm talking about? If something hit me, say move, I'm moving. You
Most
know what I mean?
definitely. Most
You know,
definitely.
if I'm with somebody and they say move, I'm moving. Maybe they got hit with a spirit or something that I missed.
Ain't no doubt.
So you know, I pay attention to it. Whether it's right, wrong, it's relative. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Yes, sir.
Now, at some point, God, you went away, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
you did time. How much time did you do
15
exactly?
years.
15.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, 18 years old to 33 years old.
What type of impact would you say that did that environment have on you as a man? Because I'm sure you went in like most guys as a male, as an adolescent, as a person that's just finding his way. What type of impact did it have on you?
It made me, man. It made me. You know, or should I say it manifested me.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It makes sense. Make a lot of sense.
Those things, like I talked about, the qualities were already in the seed, but if the ground not fertile, then it's not going to get the proper nutrient that it needs to develop and evolve, right? So prison was like, and I believe prison is that place where you become your true self, whatever it may be.
Sure,
if it's high, if it's low, if it's something sexy, if it's something
it's gonna bring out what's in you.
It's gonna bring it out, you know. So it just polished me off, bro. It was the ultimate breaking down for the ultimate building up.
Man, that's heavy.
You know what I mean?
The ultimate breaking down for the ultimate building up.
And I wouldn't change it for the world. I would change how, of course, mother hurt.
Yes, sir. Most
You know,
definitely. Most definitely.
Family hurt. You know, but you know, fortunately, I didn't have children then.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it was necessary, man. Like I say, you know, I did 3 years in Berriga in solitary confinement. When I came out, I say I was the person then that I always thought that I was. You know, so we can
That's
have this image of ourselves
This
that we haven't
grandiose ideal.
even, right, that we haven't even stepped into.
Yes,
yet.
sir.
You know what I mean? So it was the ultimate divine intervention, bro.
Man. Now, you know, in that environment, bro, as we know, you got scholars, you got warriors, and you got other people, right? Is it fair to say, because I know from what from what I know, that the God was both. How were you able to balance that in that environment and at the same time focus on your goals and your objectives?
Well, that part was easy because it was just about being myself. So, you know, working on a new book, Angel with Dirty Wings, Gangsta, right? One of the most misunderstood persons in our society. And so 4 years in, I joined the Nation of Islam. I had sipped from all the religious cups. None of them really fit my palate, right? The Nation of Islam grabbed me. Within 6 months, I was minister or coordinator of the Nation of Islam for the rest of my time.
Was you ready for that though when it first? Because you know that thing is dropping your lap.
I was never ready.
Man.
And the beauty of it is everything I taught on Friday, I had to learn Saturday through Thursday, right? So it was just like literally running in front of yourself.
Right, man, it make a lot of sense.
But you know, just, you know, from being the leader of the gang young, I always had those skills.
The leadership quality.
Leadership, the articulation, the benevolence, but, you know, balanced with a heavy hand when
right.
need be. You know, no fear, you know, but the most respectful, again, humble, man, is key, bro.
Yes,
like, you know, a lot of stuff come guys' way sometimes because of how they walk the planet.
Right.
You know, but just humble and just real, man, and that nation, man, it just took me to a whole nother level, man. You know, it was, you know, to this day I carry that stuff.
Most definitely.
You know, to hear all of your life, nigga this, nigga that, you'll never be nothing. Then for somebody to come and say you actually God, it mean it in a literal sense.
Talk that talk,
right?
Bro.
This is not a allegory or
right.
metaphorical. This is in a literal sense.
This is in real time.
Right, real time. So, and then, so now watch this. We can say what don't work, but can we really, if we don't really give it the opportunity to work? What do I mean? So when I joined the nation, I did everything that it asked of me. I prayed, I ate right, I fast 3 days at the top of the month.
Follow the orders.
I followed the order, right? So what happened was, just like you can make yourself a conduit for that negative energy, right?
Yes, sir.
You can make the temple, the body, a conduit, a clean, pure, receptive place for that higher energy. So when you talk about being on high and having that power, that force and power of being, that is God, right?
You had it, Black.
I had it.
I heard about it.
Right? And can't nobody tell me about it. You know,
you experienced it.
Exactly. And not only did I have it, but I have it.
Yes,
but
sir.
And we'll talk about that in a minute. The only thing is I've learned how to turn it down for tactics and maneuver's sake. Again, I did 3 years in the box for too much influence. Had they had it that way, I would have sat there forever.
Right.
You know, I'm reading the Danny Manville self-help litigation manual, sneaking motions out mashed potatoes because they're throwing my mail away. You know what I mean? And filed a civil suit on the whole institution with the retaliation clause. Right. So this is what I mean by that. I didn't intend to win the suit, but I intended to get out that box, and I did. So you could say that I lost the case, but actually I won the case because what the retaliation clause is, since I filed this suit, I fear for my life.
Right.
So they sent me from Barriga back to Marquette, level 5, and basically they put me back on the yard. Cat said that I would be there 10, 15 years, and some of them were. And I told them, I guarantee you I'm not. Why? Because I'm God, which is force and power, and ability to think.
Man.
Right?
Through the darkness.
Through the darkness. So, so when you say I had the power, I want to make this clear to people that it wasn't because of nothing tough.
Most
it wasn't because 90% of my soldiers were far tougher than I was. Right? You understand?
Talk that talk,
right? So it wasn't about being tough. It was, again, I'm going to keep going back to it because it's the gangster's most heightened quality, and that's humility.
Man.
You understand?
Power under control.
Oh, man. You know, so I tell people, you want to be a leader, but you never took orders or never followed nothing. How dare you tell me what to do on the battlefield if you never been there? How dare you give me an order if you never taken an order? So I was the type of soldier that didn't ask questions. I hate feedback.
Right.
I tell my kid, he's 6. That's not what we do. We yes sir, no sir, and we roll out. This is why we were always few in numbers, but never lost a war.
Most definitely.
We were the most organized, in sync, disciplined group of young men ever seen, brother. And I was just telling some people, if we bring that to this level of the yard, it will be nothing that can stop us.
Man.
You know, we win it individually.
Most definitely. But not collectively.
Right? But me personally, I ain't never been shit without my homeboys and brother, man.
Ain't no doubt.
You know, you got people talk that I don't need, you know, me and my daughter was just talking about the tribe. I'm pro-tribe. It ain't nothing, even before jail, I was fortunate to not have to follow the dudes down the street because my uncles lived with me. My heroes was in the house with me.
Doubt.
You understand? So I'm village oriented. I'm gang oriented. You know, I'm family oriented. And because of that, you couldn't shake my hand unless I nodded you permission.
Man.
You understand?
Right.
When I used the bathroom, them soldiers standing around the phone. when I'm on the telephone, them soldiers, and when you think I'm alone, I could wave the top of my head, and them soldiers is present in a fraction of a second.
They say you was infamous for taking your hat off and something like
I could take that hat off and get your head knocked off, or take that hat off and get you a hug, right? And it was just the height of nonverbal communication. You know,
high level side.
Yeah, you understand? The yard was vast. Right, and we would again, it would be sometimes we would be fighting 100 people and there's 6 of us.
Man.
But the way we moved and the way we showed up and the way we executed the plan, you know, and then, you know, we never fought if we was wrong. See, that's back to that humility.
That's it.
I don't care if you're a midget and I know I can crush you. I have to pay you if I owe you.
Ain't no doubt.
You know, and I required that from the soldiers.
That's honor. That's integrity. That's care.
So, you know, we gonna do all the right stuff. So if we ever got to, you know, spill some blood on the dance floor, you know, it's because we didn't have no other alternative. And we gonna swing the sword now with a different level of vengeance because you mistook humility for weakness.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and just reign supreme, bro.
It's
you know
classic
what I mean?
right here.
Yes, sir.
It's classic.
Yeah, you know, like I'm writing the second part of my book, which is those 15 years, and people gonna be like, I don't believe this shit. You know, you know, I listen to a lot of guys, bro. I'm talking about some big names from Cali, and I have yet to see somebody do the level of being that I did.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like they gonna be like, this gotta be cap.
Right.
You know, like I was telling the brother, I said,
ain't cap.
It's not, you know. And the beauty of it, when we do the image with it, you know, I got hundreds of brothers to bear witness. But I was telling the brother how I would wake up in the morning, and on my desk would be like a carry-out box of food, cheese omelet and sausage and know, and they like, wait a minute, like. You know, child is 2 hours from now, you know. You know, the female CO shift change, she would walk across the yard to the child hall with Sean Ford. Midnight shift would have breakfast ready for me.
For the guy.
Get us breakfast.
Yeah, for the guy.
So yeah, they like, what? You know,
Black carpet here.
You know, you can have it no other way. You know, especially with my people.
Right.
You know, so in Berriga, of course, Marquette, not much that looks like us. So it was a struggle up there. We still invoke that power, but it wasn't like being with y'all.
Yeah.
You know, I remember 3 brothers being in the service at the Hill, and I lit it up, man. I'm talking about, they come to my cell on an individual basis, like, look, man, if you need anything, you know, like they were immediately won over to the team, you know, because I
love you.
With the nature we relative.
Most definitely.
You understand though? You rock
all is one in real life,
you understand? Bro. Yeah, you know, so yeah, brother. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Black.
Yep.
Who would you say had the greatest impact on you in there? Who inspired your transition or your path toward real growth and development?
Everybody.
Let's go.
So,
because we know the name, but you
absolutely. Mm-hmm. So when I say everybody, one thing that I don't like with today's youth,
yes, sir,
is that they don't pay homage to legacy, legend, and OGism.
Most definitely.
What made me strong, brother, is that the OGs loved and embraced me when normally they shun the younger brother due to the way we act.
Right.
Either too loud, too vulgar, no respect, no class, no humility. You can't take an order, argumentative. So when they see that special something in the young brother, they wrap their arms around.
Yes, sir.
So all my big homies is from old Earl Flynn's, old BK's. Young boy, UcciKhan came from a young boy.
Right there.
You know, he heard me rapping. You know, it was like you spitting that Detroit heron. That's that UcciKhan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
it
started kind of geeky. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
But jail with all them cats, you know, love them. I work with Kurt McGirt right now. See him every other day. Shout out to Kurt McGirt.
Detroit legend.
YBI, you know what I'm talking about? You know, all the way to guys, you know, the Southwest Detroit, you know, it's just, bro, just
It's too many to
everybody.
name.
It's too many to name.
Yeah.
But so, and I'm talking like Sunnis, Moors, Melanics, G Ford, World, River Bay.
That's what I love. But let me tell you real quick, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I love, right? You universal with it, because most guys, we just gonna name the brothers in the nation of the. No, you talking about everybody who
So
inspired.
it started. I just told you it took me 4 years. So I had actually the nation was on my head at one point.
Right.
I had a little clash with the nation. And it was just due to my own ignorance. It was nothing they had done, but I never saw.
So you
myself.
initially had a clash?
Oh yeah, I was still in the gang element.
But they saw that God in you, though.
Yeah. My homeboy. See, the homeboys is everything, man. I had basically.
This thing getting deep, right?
Yeah, basically, the brother had cut into me on some. Have I ever heard of? And I had just got off the phone with one of my girls, and I wasn't there, so I kind of went left on him. The nigga called him all out his name. And those is no-nos.
Yeah, all the time.
But I had to learn the hard way. I'm like, nigga, y'all come to jail and join this bullshit. Yada yada. He just yes sir.
Mm-hmm.
I learned later that could be the most powerful stroke of fate.
Say that.
Right? Yeah, he just yes sir me. Next morning, I go out the back 40. They lock the gate.
Yeah, you all right?
I'm whistling Dixie. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just,
Don't know what's going to go.
My homeboy, thank God for homeboys. My homeboy Milton X, East Side, Cross Connors, Jefferson Finest. He
salute.
He run up on me, homeboy. And he, what we would call a frenzy, or his feathers ruffled like
right.
So I'm like, what the fuck wrong with you? He like,
you the
had
rough of the
some words
road,
with
bro.
and I'm so naive,
yes, sir.
ignorant that I don't even remember.
Like most young guys, they don't know.
And this was just yesterday, like,
yeah.
So like you had words with the brother. I'm like, fuck no, like for what? He like, bro, the brother said you. So now I'm like, oh, he tripping on that.
Yeah.
So now you talk about them spidey senses. Though I was a little late. It made me tune in to the yard. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers got me surrounded. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, he tripping that hard. Like, he like, what did you say to him?
Right.
And so for me, never had a problem with accepting my wrong.
Most
I could take a check. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
humility
Yeah,
right
you know
there.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I immediately take me to him. You know what I'm saying?
That's big right there, bro.
Take me to him. So he kind of like, he don't want to see me. But I go straight to him like, look, man, I was on the phone and, I respect y'all and what y'all doing, but that was that. But, so one of my homeboys from the streets, Eric X, E-Way, rest in peace.
Salute to the God, R.I.P.
Ran into him in Jackson behind the wall about 4 years in. I had some static on the floor. Me and my homeboy was shaking that bag, and cats were trying to squeeze the bag. So we ain't buying it. We
raw.
This
shit raw, bro.
Yeah, we 2 against 400.
Right.
Scared to death. But in it to
win,
we don't have no choice, because if you take this, what else can you take?
Ain't no doubt.
He fighting a natural. I'm paying a lawyer, paying a phone bill. So when you say take something, you got to kind of add it up to understand the totality of what it is you think you about to try to take, right? So we wasn't having it, But so we at the back of the fence. We got 2 and 2. We ready for whatever, you know.
I see why they selected you, God. Listen, that's why they, because they knew you.
Oh man,
you gotta be one of the ones.
Yeah.
Be one of the ones.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, you can't control the battlefield if you've never been on it, and not on it in a favorable way, under pressure. You understand? Nation brothers with some solars march down on us heavy as hell. I'm talking like hard, like Phillip. Somebody want that's my government. I'm like,
right.
So I'm
it's
like,
different when they hit you with their gun.
I'm like, these dudes over here, but you talking about come with you, do you know we got to fight on? But something in the spirit just made me mob out with them. Like, hey, let's roll. So I roll with them. They circle me off. I'm like, oh shit. Take me to a bench or whatever. My guy was sitting there. I hadn't seen him since the streets.
Right.
And now I just forgot about everything going on. You know, I
Right.
see my little man. You know, I'm like, oh shit. You know, he got tears in his eyes. I had tears in my eyes.
Right.
And he said, you know, I taught you a lot of wrong things. Now I'm
Man.
going to teach you all the right things.
Man, ooh.
So from that point on, it wouldn't be no basketball for me. We literally, on the side, the dictionary open, 100 books, the Bible.
Big pressure.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So my first motivation was a lot of shit you saying don't make sense.
Right.
I'm about to prove you wrong.
Right.
And as you get to reading and studying, I'm proving this motherfucker right.
Right.
I'm becoming a witness bearer. You telling me that life evolved from an atom. I'm in the cell with the biology books and I got them bust open. Okay, 2 or more light atoms make a molecule. 3 or more molecules make microscopic cells of matter. So we beginning to see something from something unseen.
Man.
So right, and then I'm like, shit. And I'm becoming a witness bearer, brother. And the training, let me just talk about that real quick. He was my homeboy, almost like uncle.
Right.
When I say he turned on me,
Uh-huh.
see, this is a crucial point, even for my son when he becomes a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, my daughter say, this motherfucker not the friendliest person I know. He
Right.
say the craziest shit, and he put pressure on me in ways that nobody else does, because that is in the name of love,
Man.
training.
Say
and
that.
I say, bro, I got it bad. From duck walking and bunny hopping to
crawling.
you can't walk. You know, I didn't walk in the cell and just fell out, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
And all the brothers basically like, Phil gonna quit. And he was like, no, he not. And I would walk out there barely, drag myself out there, you know, and hit that crystal.
Right.
Like, I'm here to stay.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
on the
talking
supreme level.
about? Yeah, on the supreme level, you know. Took my lessons, learned my pack fast. Was always articulate,
Most
you
definitely.
know. You know, if you could rap, that podium is easy.
Yeah, it's nothing.
You know, so like I say, I came to leadership fast.
Right.
You know what I mean? But everybody, bro, I sip from every cup of wisdom and righteousness. I don't care if you had one eye and one leg. I'm talking about teach me something.
Most
You
definitely.
know, and I'm still like that. You
That's
know,
beautiful.
but these young cats don't get it, bro.
They don't get that
You know,
part.
you looking and laughing at somebody that done already walked where you walked at, you know?
And survive the
And
fire,
survive,
though.
right? So what I used to tell the old head, and still do, I say, I love you because of your legacy and how I see you standing up right now, in spite of what you've been.
Most definitely.
But don't ever rock the boat. You don't gotta manipulate me. You don't gotta try to cheat me. If we hit the vault and it's 100 and you need an extra 25, I'm good with a free 25. Just tell me. And I would say, I'm saying all of this to say, I respect your gangster, but your soldiers is battle weary.
Right.
They tired.
Right.
Mine, agile as ever.
Ain't no doubt.
Don't
Flexible.
rock the boat.
Flexible.
Don't rock the boat. You know, and they would say, you crazy.
Yeah.
And I would say, no, I just gotta communicate my heart. The same passion that I embrace and hold you down with, I turn it against you.
Most definitely.
You know, and then we had a wonderful relationship. You know what I mean? To this day, you know, all the big homies. Man.
That's beautiful, bro.
You know, I didn't care about their flaws. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely
I don't care
understand.
about
Yeah,
it. You know, just because you do, you know, I may do
Whatever
some
you
shit
do.
you don't agree
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just respect me, I respect you, and you got to deal with God.
As long as you can
know?
impart what you can impart to me, and I can be
I gotta
receptive
have
to learn.
it. I
Yeah,
gotta have it, you
that's
know?
it. What would you say was the hardest lesson that you learned through that experience?
To be quiet.
Silence is power. You remember back in the day when they put you on silence and the guy listened. You know, we don't understand like when the brother tell you on silence for a week. And you gotta
The
follow the
ultimate
order.
love.
Yeah,
So when we fast, we would not talk.
right.
I would tell the brothers, write a little note, show it on silence, right? So the book said, Holy Quran, when I think it was Zacharias asking for a sign, and Allah told him to be quiet for 3 days. You know, so when we say be quiet, That's deeper than the surface.
Yes, sir.
Yep, it's audible noise, but it's something else. Still your mind, quiet your heart. Stop thinking with your own ideas, biases, and opinions, and listen to the higher voice.
Most definitely.
So that being quiet, then on a whole nother level, you know, I used to tear the podium up, bro.
I heard about it. They talk that
Ooh,
ringing bells. It still ring bells.
Oh, bro.
Legendary.
Oh, bro. I'm talking about had a whole study group in tears.
Yeah.
Or ready to fight.
Ain't no doubt.
You understand what I'm saying? When I did that time in that boxing barrier, I said, you know what? I got to take a page out of the book of Jesus.
Yes, sir.
I had to take a page out of the book of Malcolm, the book of Martin, the book of Tupac,
Yeah. Ooh.
the book of George Jackson.
Let's go.
Right? Shut the fuck up and do it. Right?
Yes, sir,
Get
beloved.
off the fucking soapbox. Get the goddamn megaphone or whatever the fuck it is out your motherfucking head and just do it. Right? So that's where I created something called expansion security.
Talk to me.
So it was easy for them to get a bead on who I was because I always got 1,000 people around me. Right? So it got to a point where, so if you come through the gate at the yard, then the first thing is the phones. We would call that 1 or 8. Move up a few basketball court, that would be 2. To pull up bar 3 and so on.
We ain't gonna give them the whole play.
Right? So on and so forth. So I was strategically had them in place.
Right.
So at no point was I ever alone, but it looked as if.
Most definitely.
So, you know, and then I pulled back from the study group and started letting the young brother shine. You know, still for sure in control. By all means.
Most definitely.
Right? But it's time, you cats will never know unless you, or never, you know, manifest your own power if you never given the opportunity. So start putting them young brothers on and just falling back, man.
And watching them shine, and watching them growing to their God.
Just watch them. So I denounced my denomination. See, now we talking about checks.
Yeah.
Had I still been pushing,
They was gonna hold you up.
I'd still be there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Gotta play
I denounced. Now watch how deep it gets. Now we talking about this gangster, this camouflage.
Let's go.
I rolled back down out of level 5 to level 4 St. Louis.
That's a hard yard right there.
Oh, so
Gladiator.
I got exposed. I wasn't trying to. They did emergency count one day, locked it down. My door opened up. They want to see you in control center. Now, mind you, in my mind, I'm playing the low keys. I'm on some side.
Right.
To me. So when I get out there and see, at this point, I wasn't dealing with officers no more. In fact, most of the officers was, you know,
I understand.
right?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm dealing with the suits.
Yeah.
Right? So all the suits in there, the warden, the deputy warden, the inspector.
Because you can think, so they gotta pay attention.
Yeah, so they say, this is what they say. They say, it's about to be a riot, and we heard if anybody can stop it, it's you. So I say, damn. In my head, I'm like,
Can I tell you something before you say that?
Yes, sir.
Blood West told me this, right? You know Blood, right?
Of course.
Blood said when they came with that same scenario, Blood said if they know you can stop a riot, they know you can start one. But
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Talk,
and you know, he know.
Yeah.
This is why he is one of those ones
Right.
that if you're smart,
Most
you
definitely.
will put your head down and listen.
Yeah.
Right? So they
Okay,
call.
talk.
So I say, if I could, why would I?
Right.
So they're like, what do you mean? Bro, St. Louis was more racist than over the bridge. Beating the brakes off guys.
Killing
etc.,
guys.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I tell them that, they said, who? I say, shit. You don't know?
Mm-hmm.
They say, get us a list of these officers and we'll get them out of there. But stop the riot. I stopped the riot. We got a list of the officers. They got them out of there and got me out of there too.
At the same
But the beauty of it.
Go back to what Blood said. If you can stop one, you can start one.
So when I was in the holy barrel,
Mm-hmm.
when I did that lawsuit, I was naive. All I'm talking about is what I ain't did. I ain't do nothing.
Right.
They said, This ain't about what you did. It's what you got the power to do.
Man.
And he quoted it verbatim. He who can stop the riot can stop the riot. So I said, I gotta shut the fuck up. Right? So when I went to JMF, I'm gonna tell you how cold this gangster camouflage shit get. I immediately secured the bag.
Yeah.
See, because they don't give a fuck.
They don't care about
When
it.
Phil Sample was shaking the bag
Yeah.
with the gang flag. When Phil Sample stepped on high and was squashing gang wars, was helping motherfuckers get back natural life, was motherfucking had the capacity to tell the yard when or when not to lock up.
He posed
Now
the
this
threat
motherfucker's a problem.
Yeah.
So I had to dumb it all the fuck the way down.
Yeah. Camouflage again.
Right? And here we are.
Yeah, I'm just regular Douglas shaking the
You
bag.
understand? I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm through. You know, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm done.
And now you're gonna embrace it. Yeah.
So that level of so we quote and we talk about tactics and maneuvers,
Yes, sir.
but we rarely really understand.
How to supremely move or execute.
You understand?
Yeah.
You know, we think, so the 48 laws of power talks about the surrender tactic.
Most
we think
definitely.
that a weakness.
Most definitely.
When really it's like the lion in the cave licking his wounds until he, get his energy up.
Most
You know
definitely.
what I'm talking about? So just really coming to understand the principles that you quote, the things that you said, just to really understand, how to really implement and make these things work for you, man. You know what I'm talking about?
God, talk about this because we tied into this book right now.
Yes, sir.
An angel with dirty wings. Gangsta. And it's and listening to your story and me knowing you from afar, right? But being blessed to have the opportunity to experience the God up close and personal. I know the parallel because I heard all the stories, right?
Yes, sir.
Now let's tie that in with the title of that book and why the people should get that book, A Gangster with Dirty Wings.
So,
do you understand how powerful the angel, part itself?
So an angel. So this is probably about to be the deepest shit I get to you.
Let's go. Because if it get deeper than what you see,
I deal with gang violence intervention and gang violence interruption. And what I hear these young cats say is that they on demon time.
Let's go.
Right?
Yeah.
On demon time.
Who demons belong to?
Right? Who
Yeah.
do demons belong to?
Yeah.
So you working for the devil. Never once in my life did I feel, I'm talking about my young gang street life, and I was a mess.
Most definitely.
I never felt like I was working for the goddamn devil.
Right.
I always felt like I was working to protect my block,
Most
my
definitely.
folks, my motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, to respect our name, right?
Yeah.
But never the fucking devil.
Right.
In fact, I felt more righteous
Right.
than because this was my reality.
Right.
Right? So when I hear that, it bothers me, right? Because here's what I know. That we closer to God than we are devil.
Yes, sir.
Period.
Even if you don't know.
Do we have the capacity to be either? Sure.
Right.
Right? But so Luke asked Yoda in Star Wars, was the dark side more powerful than the light side? And he said no, but it's more attractive. More attractive. The bitches, the cars and popping bottles and the likes on Instagram and all this goofy shit.
Yeah.
Right? So it's more attractive, especially to a motherfucker who never had nothing.
Right.
Not even self-esteem. Fuck money, fuck women, fuck cars.
Just have the esteem of be the best shit.
So you can't even conceive the idea that you got with low self-esteem.
Right.
Because knowledge of self is knowledge of God. Right?
Yes, sir.
So me, I'm on angel time at all times. It is
and even in your darkest moment or your darkest hour.
It is the secret to me.
Right.
That I'm not afraid, bro. We didn't hit that yard, bro.
Don't know if you gonna make it back.
Bro.
Yeah. Been times you don't know if you gonna make it back.
I done walked up to 60 of these cats by myself and said, boom, 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 and didn't feel iota of fear.
Yes, sir.
You understand? So because we say fear no one but Allah.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And again, we quote that.
Right.
And we said, but when we really embody that. So this fearlessness comes from this godliness.
Right.
It's why I'm able to do my job. I go with many fear to tread.
Man.
You know, but at the same time, I can relate and speak to these dark spaces.
Right.
Because I come from.
You been there.
That's them dirty
Yeah.
wings.
Yeah.
My wings, in spite of how pure they may have once been at birth, perhaps,
Right.
they've been drugged
Through the mud.
Ooh.
You know how they say they get it out the mud, so when you go
Right.
through that mud, that shit is on
right.
you.
So I'm far so Black Adam, bro, is the, you know, we gotta see that movie because he's God by all standard of his
Let's
measure.
get it.
But he was raged and vengeful and wrathful to the point that he was compelled also by a darker spirit.
Big pressure.
That's that dirt.
Yeah.
Right? So the lady said, and I'm quoting it in the book,
Let's
she
go.
said, he's able to do what you superheroes are too good to do. They talking about, so the 48 laws of power again say, crush your enemy totally.
Totally.
This Black Adam, they
Totally
like, well,
non-existent.
we should be trying to fucking compromise with evil.
Right.
When two things can't occupy the
At
same
the
space
same
and
space at the
time,
same
there's
time.
no compromise
Most
with evil.
definitely. Most
Right?
definitely.
Black Adam, like, let's smash these
Right.
motherfuckers.
Right.
So an angel with dirty wings. Watch this. Here goes some testimony to my young warriors. You are being prepared by way of what they call black on black crime. It's really a divine working there. You are in training.
God, you ain't lost a step.
You are in training.
Yeah. Preparatory stage.
Right?
Yeah.
To be the vanguard
Yeah.
of your people,
Man.
gangsters.
Man.
So a lady introduced me a few weeks back at the church I was speaking. She said, what if we had 10,000? I know that number ring bells with you
Talk
because
to
it
talk.
fucked me up.
Yeah.
She said, what if we had 10,000 feelings?
10,000 particles of the atom, 10,000 feelings. Let's get it.
She said, so, and she knew none of that.
Right.
Right?
But she in sync with
But
the
she
truth.
in sync. She said, what if we had 10,000 feels that she gave? It still give me
Yeah.
feelings. Right?
I got it.
Right? Because in Phil's mind, right now, you just said you ain't lost a step. Right now, in Phil's mind, you see one thing, I see a motherfucker about 8 feet tall,
Right.
400 pounds
Right.
of raw muscle.
That's ready.
Right? So 10,000 of me.
Pressure. Yeah.
Right? That understands the assignment. It's gang for life.
Yeah.
It's my block for life.
Right.
What the fuck do that mean? I bet you don't snatch a baby over here. I bet you don't rape a woman over here. I bet you ain't exploit. Bro,
Cause that's standing on business. With these young boys talking about
Gangsta.
standing on business, that's gangster in
That's
real
gangsta.
life. You talking about standing on real business.
God.
Yeah.
So one brother, my brother Elamine, salute, he called me Godster.
Yeah.
And I was going to name
Not
the book,
gangster, but
right?
God.
It was Godster. He said, since I've known you, he said, I've never seen nobody work both of those together like you. You understand?
And you do it beautiful.
And right? Because it's one and the same. The gentleman, God, gangster, all of that. I named my son Jariah for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It could easily be J, like it is in the Bible.
Right.
But I want a G on it. The significance
Yeah.
to that 7.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you know, even with him, right? It's a book, right? This in fact is a real thought just hit me about being able to implement to the highest supreme level what you take in. It's a book that we all adore called How to Give Birth to a God.
Classic.
With my son, I did that.
Yeah. Gave birth. Was that the one that I tapped in with when I tapped in with you? He was right there.
I did that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? He has no idea what's in him.
But he walking into.
You understand what I'm
He
saying?
got a mentor. He got somebody that's grooming,
I shot the seed with intent.
and he got his own business right now.
You understand? When
Yeah.
I shot the seed, it wasn't no accident, a hope or feel good. I shot it with God intent.
Big head what? Big head
Billionaires.
billionaires.
You right?
Yes,
and
sir.
I knew what complexion he would be. I knew
Right.
he wouldn't be too dark because the world cold to that.
Right.
I knew he wouldn't be too light because the world cold to that.
Right.
I willed this nigga,
That's
bro.
beautiful, bro.
I willed him.
Talk that talk.
Appearance,
Yeah.
his attitude, his sensitivity.
Because you understand the principles of how to get birth. So I'm producing what I want, what I desire after myself.
When we found out she was with child, she got to eat different. I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
He been on black seed, no pork.
And he got that humility though. When
Right.
he said, hello, what he say to me when I called, he was like, how you doing?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's beautiful, God.
Right. So people say you a great father. Yeah, I'm 40. I know it all now.
Right.
Right?
That's a
Confucius
beautiful
say
age
you just
right
getting
there,
into
40
the
though.
right. You just getting
We
into
don't even
the.
make it to that list.
You understand? So the only fear I have every day is time, of course. That's the only fear.
Yeah.
Give me time to get them on their feet.
That's
They
it.
know nobody gonna do it like me, right? But at the end of the day, bro, it ain't. It's like again, bro. We gotta be what we know, bro.
That's it.
And I tell these young guys, we need you.
Most definitely.
Gangsters, we need you.
Most
I
definitely.
don't want to turn the gangster off of you. You can't turn it off of me. It's in the way I dress. It's in the way I walk. It's in the way I am the
Whether
embodiment
it's
of
GD, Vice Lord,
I don't
Blood,
know
whatever
what
it
you
is, just be
It's
who you are. Be
be
your
who
best.
you are.
Yeah.
Be your best. So examples of gangsters. Watch this. And I'm talking about a lot of them in the book. Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah.
Right? The lady said, "You write poetry, and in a blink of an eye, you can kill somebody or be killed."
Right.
Right? See, I gotta quote that. Poetry.
Yeah. But in
Right.
the blink of an eye.
But in a blink. So this gangster, he's a poet.
Yeah.
So Antar, the great African warrior, he was described as lover, warrior, poet. Lover
Yeah.
first. Hold on. They say he was the most dreaded, feared dude on the battlefield.
But he poisoned it when he's supposed to be. Yeah.
Lover, warrior, poet. Right? I'm a gangster. I'm finna TMI y'all. Watch this. I'm a bona fide gangster, right? But guess what? I like flowers.
Yeah.
Right? My wife bring me flowers. Am I lying, baby? My wife bring me flowers.
Right.
And no homo, but I don't know how women feel with
Right.
flowers, but I feel real fucking lovely.
You understand?
You understand? So
You understand the process.
right?
Yeah.
They beautiful, bro. They
Yeah.
come out this dirt, this mud,
From a
this
seed.
Oh man, right?
blossom in the
I
sun.
fucking love flowers.
Yeah.
Right?
But
But
a big
again,
gangster.
but so the streets would never thump that.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. You understand what I'm saying? Highly sensitive.
Right.
Always have been.
Yeah.
My son, he's highly sensitive.
That's beautiful,
It
though. 'Cause
scares
that's the
me,
intuition.
right?
Yeah.
It's the
When
passion.
you in tune like that.
Right? When you sensitive, that means I fuck hard, I fight even fucking harder, I laugh till I can't breathe.
I'm passionate.
I'm passionate.
About everything.
Every fucking thing.
Yeah.
When I'm laughing, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
When I'm
When
engaged,
I'm on one, I'm on
engaged.
one. Yeah.
Right? So and I'm gonna say this in all humility, bro. And I'm gonna let you ask the last few questions I have when we do it, but I'm
I
gonna
got
say
you.
this in all humility. I've known a lot of killers. I love a lot of killers. But sometimes a killer is too hard and cold to be a gangster. Right?
Right.
A hustler sometimes is too stingy to be a gangster.
Right.
See, a gangster is a philanthropist.
Yeah.
You understand? Vito Corleone is the
This
perfect
thing built
example.
on gangsterism. This
Right.
is whole America built on
Right. Vito Corleone is the perfect example of a gangster.
Right.
He came from humble beginnings. He took care of everybody, and in return, they kissed his ring and called him God.
Ain't no doubt.
They didn't go to the police. They
Right.
went to Vito Corleone.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So
So he gonna take care of the people.
I've met a lot of strong men, but I have never met a person yet whose rage matches my own.
Man.
Why? This is some shit that's heavy for me.
Right.
Right? So I'm taking psychology in school now, finna get my bachelor's because I've studied it so extensively. I feel I might as well have the paperwork. But I started studying it to riddle me.
Right.
What makes me this way when I'm angry? Why is my anger more so than, and I'm not nothing special.
Right.
So
righteous indignation, though, is what they call.
Yeah,
you know, we know that language.
Right. When you talk about, so before that, Yoda met Anakin Skywalker and said he was scared, and he was a little boy.
Yeah.
He said, I sense in him fear. Fear is the path to the dark side. Right? So I come from this timid, mama's boy, house getting shot up, nigga fighting my mama, scared to fuck to death. Reality.
Right.
That fear is the essence of violence and rage. Right? Now,
and that becomes the mask of aggression, too, at the same time.
Wait, watch this, bro. The dog in the alley don't burr when you go to him because he's just mad.
Right.
He's afraid what you gonna do to him. You're a fucking stranger. He just got the shit beat out of him by the last human he engaged, right? So this fear, and this is me learning me.
This psychology 101.
I had to understand that it stems in fear. The root of anger is fear. Fear I'm gonna lose something, whether it's respect, somebody looking at me in a certain way, it's fear.
Yes, sir.
So now watch this. Fear, with what you just, I couldn't have articulated it better. Righteous.
Yes, sir.
Indignation. I just said I experienced niggas fighting my mama, motherfuckers fighting and just violence, environment. And I fought it for years, bro. I would bob and weave, get pushed down, cracked in the head, and yeah, I could hit you back, but I'd rather say, okay, you good now? Goddamn, you all right? You know what I mean? But this righteous indignation, right? And then now watch this. Now you about to extract God power.
Right.
Because when you do choose to fight, oh, this shit giving me some type of
Let's go.
When you do choose to fight,
right,
you can easily fight for the dark side.
Man.
But you choose to be the defender of the bullied.
Man.
You choose to go up against he or that which everybody else fears to even think about.
Right.
You can't do nothing but extract the higher power.
Most definitely.
So now my strength is different than the average motherfuckers, bro. See, you born with man strength.
Right.
Then we go through our training and we move, and as a man shovel and dig and build, he's developing man strength, which a lot of little boys, you know, raised by mothers have experienced. But what we went through, that fasting, that crawling in the mud, that shaking until you can't motherfucking, now you get into God strength.
Talk that talk.
Right? So this is why guys like my man E-Way, rest in peace, came out here and couldn't do nothing but get killed.
That's it. Ooh.
Because I gave you the keys to supreme wisdom, and you think I'm going to let you go play for the dark side?
Man.
Lead me away from the path of those that go astray. It's a wrath over there.
Star Wars. Listen.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
with that point, let me ask you this. What would you say right now, in this moment, with everything you just said to a young version of yourself?
My son.
The young guys that's coming up right now, they had this same rambunctious mentality. They're aggressive. They out their mind. What you say to them, like when you look back and you talking to you at their younger age or your son, and they getting ready to go down this path? We went through a hard path. Like the path we went through, I remember the brother Allen told me, man, Allen X, he said God makes himself known through a dark and cold hour, right? So when the guys go through these dark chambers, everybody ain't built to withstand, to endure, to survive, to make it, right? So, you know, a lot of these boys out here think they may be built to go through that, right? But I'm saying, what would you say to that young guy right now who, you got a chance, man, you at the crossroads of your life?
So, I do feel what I wish somebody would have did for me. I say, I'm building a new team, and I'm looking for a few good men.
Those definitely.
I'm finna train you. I just told my cousin, when I was training men, I felt most alive. I need to get back to to it.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I'm gonna give you everything you need to be who you are. I'm gonna show you who you think you are, but note that if you ever try to take these jewels and play for the dark side,
Right.
you'll be took the fuck up out of here.
Ain't no doubt.
We need defense on our neighborhoods, on our women, on
Right.
our children. You are a warrior by nature. You can't cut it off. You might got Zulu blood.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
Right.
But you can direct that shit properly.
Most definitely.
I was born to fight, bro.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind.
On every level.
On every
Mental,
level.
physical,
It's
spiritual.
I'm too good at it.
Right.
You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah, I'm too good at it.
Yeah.
You know, I was born for it. But the good fight. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, the crown is laid. I fought the good fight.
Most
You understand
definitely.
what I'm
Most
saying? And the good fight, you know, it's basically back to that. We gods versus a motherfucker who thinking that being on demon time is the place to be.
Most definitely.
That's the war right there, bro. We don't gotta think about no motherfucking white people, no fucking Chinese or whatever the fuck. Sister Minister Ava Muhammad, legendary scholar, a goddess of goddesses,
Rest in peace to the
peace.
queen.
Right?
Rest in
She
paradise.
said that we can think that shit out of
Yeah.
existence.
Yeah.
You understand? So that ain't even the fight. The fight is with us.
Me versus me.
Me versus
The
me.
higher self versus the lower self. God versus the devil within.
Period. Period. And the ultimate goal is balance. Be righteous enough to fight the righteous fight and be ruthless enough to win. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, listen, Big Pressure TV. You already know what it is. Tell them what's up with it, girl.
UcciKhan in the building, man.
Talk about that brand.
UcciKhan everything. UcciKhan. From liquor to shoes, fashion, books.
Like Frank Lucas said, it's a brand name. It's a brand name right there.
Yes, indeed.
They come from that era right
Elron, baby.
there. Yeah. Dog food. Man,
Thank you for having me, brother.
beloved, you already know what it is, man. It's a
Anytime.
treat when the guys meet.
Anytime.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Anything
You
need.
was love even before we locked eyes, beloved. I'm talking about real life.
All praises to
Yeah.
you, brother.
Because you listen, you lay the foundation that everybody respect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So it's genuine.
Yes, sir. And that means so much to me that everything I do, I keep that in mind.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Yeah, I gotta be, you know, I mean, like, you know, the cards was dealt a long time ago, bro. So we locked in, brother.
Man, all praise is due.
Until we get there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I've been looking forward to meeting the guys.
Yes,
so
sir. I'm here, brother. We connected, man.
this epic.
All right?
Yeah, big pressure.
All right.